Hey friends and buddies. Yeah, I mean you, and you. Welcome to 2024 and welcome to our program. Over the last 7 years, I have been looking all over the world, all around, for something that will be youth-friendly, culturally diverse, socially unbiased, and artistically thrilling. It was a tough search. I have met with musicians, poets, and public speakers. I have joined Toastmasters, hosted a TED Talk, and visited music events and open mics around Chicago. And guess what? I will now introduce you to the Plastikeers open mic. What's an open mic? You want to know, hey, I haven't heard of an open mic. An open mic is an event in which amateurs like you and you may perform, usually without auditioning at first. You can just step in there and perform. It could be any work of art, a song, a poem, a joke, or a speech. Now, artists, you may ask, why should I go and take part in an open mic? What is it in for me? That's very simple. An open mic gives you an opportunity, a stage, a platform to showcase your work. You can show everyone what you're made of. There is no judgment, only support. You will get some feedback on how you performed, and you can act on that feedback, or just ignore it. And my audience, you may ask, what do I get out of this? Why should I watch an open mic? Very simple. That answer is simple too. You, my friends, what we have done is, in this open mic, we are collecting the pieces of work in advance. We are structuring it in a way that makes it interesting. And we are picking things that will give you something to take away. We need our audience to go away with something they're happy with, something they're proud of, and something they'd want to aspire to if they do like what they see. Okay. That said, let's go directly to what we have in this open mic. In this open mic, we bring you 4 amazing works. One is a song by a musician, Declan Burski. He's a seasoned musician. Really good stuff. We have a special word by a student, Bhargavi Nambori. We have a speech by Shankar. This is one of the speeches that have gone into her TED Talk. Something you'd really want to listen to. Interesting stuff. And we have some music by a really talented student musician, Arya Shankar. Again, don't get hung up on the word student. She is really good. I guarantee it. As your host, I will be there to take you through this session. And I will close with a word from the wise. I will leave you something that you'll be really happy with. Now let's get to Declan. Declan is a young musician from Berlin, Germany. He has released several songs over the years, and today, in this specific mic, he will sing the cover of Jessie by Joshua Caddison. Now, this is done under a special request from one of our favorite patrons. Let's welcome Declan Burski.
From a phone booth in Vegas, Jessie calls at 5 a.m. to tell me that she's tired of all of them. She said, baby, I've been thinking about a trailer by the sea. We can go to Mexico, you, the cat and me. We'll drink tequila and look for seashells. Doesn't that sound sweet? Jessie, you always do this every time I get back on my feet. Jessie, paint your pictures about how it's gonna be. By now I should know better. Your dreams are never free. Tell me all about our little trailer by the sea. Jessie, you could always sell any dream to me. Jessie, you could always sell any dream to me. She asks me how the cat's been. I said, Moses, he's just fine. He used to think about you all the time. We finally took your pictures down off the wall. Jessie, how do you always know just when to call? She said, get your stuff together, take Moles and drive real fast. And listening to a promise, I swear to God this time is gonna last. Jessie, paint your pictures about how it's gonna be. By now I should know better. Your dreams are never free. And tell me all about our little trailer by the sea. Jessie, you can always sell any dream to me. Jessie, you can always sell any dream to me. I loved you in the sunshine, lay you down in the warm white sand. And who knows, maybe this time things may turn out just the way you planned. Jessie, paint your pictures about how it's gonna be. By now I should know better, but your dreams are never free. Now tell me all about our little trailer by the sea. Jessie, you can always sell any dream to me. Jessie, you can always sell any dream to me.
was a wonderful song, Declan. Good job. You deserve a second clap. Our next performer is Bhargavi. Bhargavi has a word that she plans to share with you. She wants to plant it in your subconscious so that one day in the future, it's going to come out in your regular language. Bhargavi is on a speech team at Nikwa High School. She has also taken strong interest in Indian classical dancing. Yes, she does do Bollywood dancing, friends. Let me introduce you to Bhargavi.
The word of the day is eschew. The pronunciation is down below. The word eschew means to stay away from or avoid deliberately. The word eschew is a verb. Some synonyms include to refrain from, and in some cases even shun. Some antonyms are to embrace or concede. A sentence this word can be used in is, although she loved her work as a famous actress, she eschewed publicity and avoided meet and greets. Is one of your New Year's resolutions to lose weight? You would be going to the gym and eschewing that junk food. Or are you trying to save some money? You are eschewing that trip to Europe or the Dior you've been wanting. Good for you, by the way. Once again, the word is eschew, meaning to avoid or stay away from deliberately.
Great job, Bhargavi. We learned a new word today. All of you, remember this word, eschew, E-S-C-H-E-W, eschew. Let's move on to our next performer, Sajiv, Harikrishnan. Sajiv is a boy wonder. He's a junior at Wabanzi Valley High School, and he takes part in several clubs, including the speech team. He also plays cricket in his pastime. He's giving us a special speech today. It's called High Intensity Focused Ultrasound, a solution to the unsolvable. Now, what this speech does is it gives you a view into the vast potential of this technology in neurosurgery. So at this point, let's welcome Sajiv with this incredibly interesting speech.
For as long as I can remember, I have loved cricket, and the best person to talk, watch, and play cricket with was my grandpa, or as I called him, Tata. Every year when Tata visited, we both would play cricket every single day, watch every single cricket game, even if it started at 3 a.m., and talked about it all day and all night. For me, the 3 months that Tata came over were the best 3 months of my life. It was just cricket, cricket, and more cricket. But all of this changed my 4th grade year. This time when Tata visited, he couldn't pick up the bat correctly, couldn't hold the ball without dropping it multiple times, and couldn't watch a game for more than 20 minutes without straining his eyes. Just the year before, we were playing 3-hour games and watching 6 hours of cricket. And now, Tata couldn't even hold the ball correctly. Tata had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and the doctors told him there was no cure to his ailment other than a very complex surgery that is out of the equation due to his very old age. And to me, a naive 10-year-old, nothing made sense. How could such a healthy and energetic man get to this level of weakness in one quick year? But as time passed on, I came to a realization that my Tata is not alone in his struggles. According to the National Institute of Health, in 2023 alone, 1.5 billion people, or 15% of the global population, is disabled due to disorders of the brain. This includes people suffering from Parkinson's disease, brain tumors, and tremors. Unable to eat, walk, or talk normally, they live a life without access to many things most of us take for granted. And they are not the only victims. Every family member and every friend is victimized by their disease, constantly praying for a magic cure, but getting disappointed every single time. And it is very possible that some of you in here have seen your child, siblings, parents, or even grandparents fall victim to one of the many unsolvable neurological disorders and have been left there, confused and in denial of how quickly someone can change. Even worse is to think about a family's pain when a loved one passes away, all because of an unsolvable problem in their brain. Thankfully, my family has not had to go through this, but we get pretty close every time a complication arises in Tata. And every single time a complication arises, it sends a chill down my spine to think about the fact that I might not have my best cricketing buddy with me anymore. But what if I told you that there is hope? What if I told you that an FDA-approved treatment might be the solution to this problem? And what if I told you that my Tata may have a chance at normal life again? This solution is called high-intensity focused ultrasound, or as I like to call it, HIFU. HIFU is a medical procedure that can be used to treat multiple neurological disorders, including brain tumors and movement disorders like Parkinson's disease and tremors. HIFU is a very minimally invasive procedure. The idea for HIFU first came in 1944 when John Lynn and Tracy Putnam noticed the destruction of brain tissue in mice when they shot focused ultrasound waves at the brain. Using their initial discoveries, doctors have been able to devise a method to use HIFU to basically melt away the problem-causing part of the brain, be it a tumor or damaged neurons that are causing tremors. To provide a better analogy for HIFU, think about shining sunlight through a magnifying glass to concentrate heat on a certain point. By concentrating HIFU waves at a localized point in the brain, a surgeon is able to destroy the malignant tissues in the most non-invasive way possible. HIFU neurosurgery is so non-invasive that patients don't even receive anesthesia. This is what makes HIFU truly revolutionary. Patients with brain disorders are normally of a very old age, making traditional surgery a very complicated scenario because the aged body can sometimes not handle incisions, anesthesia, or opening up the brain. In 2016, the FDA approved the use of HIFU for the treatment of essential tumors, allowing Dr. Michael Caplet to perform one of the first ever HIFU brain surgeries in the world. After performing a successful surgery, Dr. Caplet went on to say, "Focused ultrasound has the potential to transform treatment, allowing us to gain access deep within the brain without harming any healthy tissues." Dr. Caplet also saw a future where HIFU would be instrumental in curing movement disorders like tremors and Parkinson's disease. Similarly, in 2022, the Children's National Hospital performed the first ever HIFU brain surgery on a child. The child was diagnosed with neurofibromatosis, a condition where tumors develop all across the nervous system, including in the brain, in the spinal cord, and in the nerves. Dr. Robert Keating, the chief neurosurgeon and the head of the HIFU program at the Children's National Hospital, stated, "The use of high-intensity focused ultrasound in our pediatric patients is a quantum leap towards non-invasive treatment for our kids, allowing for low risk of complication and no exposure to radiation." Just like an elderly person's body, a child's body is also very fragile and sensitive to radiation and incisions, making HIFU's application even more versatile. Coming back to the treatment of movement disorders using HIFU, Boyet Kubiles and Harvey Bernard were two men suffering from severe Parkinson's. 70-year-old Harvey called it the pain of his life. Both these men were looking for an option that did not include open brain surgery. Bernard insisted, "I'm not in pins being put in my head or being cut open. Both these men found haifu while they were surfing the internet, and the procedure did not fail to impress. After the procedure, Kabiles explained, "Oh my God, my tremors have significantly reduced." And Bernard's reaction was, "Wow, I feel wonderful. 7 years of this, and it's all gone." These two men are two of the many whose lives have been changed by this technological and scientific marvel. Thanks to some amazing properties of sound waves, we are witnessing a new biomedical revolution unfold in front of us. And with more research being conducted every single day, haifu will be the procedure that will change lives and keep families together. With more funding for research and development, haifu will be able to traverse the world, reaching all the corners, from developed nations to undeveloped, north to south, and east to west. And with that, maybe, just maybe, there is some hope that Tata and I can go back to playing 3 hours of cricket and watching 6-hour games after he gets rid of his now solvable problem. Thank you.
Like I said earlier, a truly amazing child, a whiz kid. Let's give Sajiv a hand, another hand. At this point, I'd like to call on Arya Shankar to give us some music on her flute. Arya is a member of the Chicago Youth Symphony Orchestra as a flutist. Let's get Arya to introduce herself and deliver her piece in the way she does best.
Hi, my name is Arya Shankar, and today I'm going to be performing Minuet and Dance of the Blessed Spirits from Orfeo by Christopher Gluck.
Thank you, Arya. You did an excellent job. Let's give her another hand. She did great, didn't she? And now, friends, this comes to the conclusion of our show. Like I said at the beginning, I want to leave you with something to think about. I'd like to leave you with the words of the great Reverend Martin Luther King. He said, "If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, keep moving forward." Guys, we are moving forward to our next episode very soon. Stay tuned. Subscribe to our channel and you will get a notification about when and where our next episode is going to show up. Stay with us from the beginning to the end. It's a few minutes of your time, but what you will end up doing is, number one, getting a lot of really good information, and number two, supporting the community and the people within. Thank you, goodbye, and God bless.